Morning everybody, welcome back to the shop. Today it is a nice brisk 38 degrees out here and figured it's a good time to come out and work on a skid steer. Today the thing won't start and you push the button up top to start it and just clicks. The battery is good and charged, so there's got to be something else going on. So let's dig in. First we'll just take a look at these cables here, make sure that they're not loose. I just put these together not long ago here, so they should be okay. Follow them down, they go under the engine, one of them grounds out back in there, and then the starter one goes over to the starter. Conglomeration of wires there, but this smaller pin over here is the one that activates the starter. This one's the feed from the battery. I suspect that we're not getting any power on this terminal. I'm going to put one of them on the solenoid excite pin here and one right to a ground. Okay, the reason I'm doing this way is because right up in this corner here there is a little button panel and you have to type in a code and then you got to hold down the start button. In a traditional skid steer, well I shouldn't say traditional, in an older skid steer, it would just have a button where I could go right to the button and test it. But this thing's got this computer box passcode thing, so I need to bring the wires up here so I can be by the button and see what's going on. So what we're going to do is now just hook up an old test light right to these two wires. Oh, it's so cold out here, these things just don't want to work. I didn't even stay on there. There we go. Okay. I'll hold the light up so you guys can see it. So what I got to do is type the code in. So, okay. Now I heard a click from this thing, but I don't hear that solenoid back there, and that could be part of what's going on. But anyway, we'll hit the start button here and see what happens. Yeah. Okay. So I'm holding it down right now, and we have no power at that starter lead. So we've got a different problem besides the starter. So thing is, I can go back there and just use a screwdriver to jump over to the solenoid from the battery power and it'll turn over. But I need to be able to start it from here. Would be handy. So let's try to figure out what's going on. So here's the module in question. When you type in your password on this thing, okay, it says run, right? And then you have a start switch. Oh sure, now it works just fine. Oh, that's the problem with this thing, is that sometimes it works, and when you need it, it doesn't. And that's kind of why I'm thinking about ditching that whole thing altogether. But instead, I think I'm going to pull it off and get a look at the connections behind it, and just see if there's something obvious that's not making a connection. So let's do that. This one here is output to the starter solenoid. And 1 out of 10 times when I push it, it does nothing. I'll hold the light on it though. One's fine. Fine. There. This time I have no output from that, from this module to the starter, and I'm holding the button down right now. So it's got to be in the module. Alright, well, after looking at this thing, it is potted, which means we can't really fix a whole lot about this. And you know, I don't like it anyway. So, my other skid steer has one of these and one of these. And that's what we're going to do. So, it should be relatively straightforward as far as how to hook it up. We had constant power over here, switched power here, and starter here. And then this one was the auxiliary relief switch. So I think what we'll do is we'll hook this up to auxiliary relief because we already have a glow plug switch or button on the skid steer. So all we need is constant power, on, off, and start. And that's it. So Gonna have to build some kind of a little thing to hold these on. Hopefully this isn't too large to fit in behind there. It kind of looks like it is, but we'll give it a shot. I could probably get a smaller one of these, but they didn't have anything other than this. So let's see what we can do. Okay, after looking at the dash panel there, we do have quite a bit of space for this thing. So I'm going to mount it more towards this side over here, and that should give us plenty of space around the back, and then room for the auxiliary relief button over here, which is going to be this one here. So I need to make a little piece of metal that is roughly this opening, and I'm kind of hoping to have an area where I can put these two screws back in. Would be nice, because that's kind of what held this whole thing to the instrument cluster. So I'm going to see what I got for very thin metal. Okay. Clean up these holes here. Definitely isn't the prettiest thing I've made. Yeah, that hole is kind of triangle shaped, but that's okay. There. Now I should have a hole for this thing. And part of the problem here, though, is that we're going to have to put these in afterwards, because I don't think I'm going to be able to put this metal part in until, yeah, because this isn't going to fit through the back. But we'll test fit everything here quick. There. That should work. I'll have to remember to tighten this down real tight, because you don't want it to be turning like that in there. That's always frustrating. So we will have to cram that down real good, and it turns hard too, so we're really going to have to cram on it. But this is aluminum, so it should bite into there pretty good. Alright, well, time to install it, I suppose. Alright, well, everything's hooked up. We should give it a try. Okay, there we go. Oops, forgot that. Okay, I should have heater. Heater works. Should have gauges. I have gauges. Should have lights. Lights work. This button no longer does anything. This one is glow plugs. Yeah, I hear glow plugs. So let's do glow plugs for a sec. Ready. Okay, here we go. Well, thanks for joining me in the shop again today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, you know what to do. See you next time.